Let's bring in Andy Biggs, an Arizona congressman, joining us alongside paneled with Jonathan Jackson, an Illinois congressman. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on. We do appreciate that. Congressman Jackson, if I could just start with you and your overall thought here into Israel now vowing to retaliate against Iran. The President Biden says that this needs to be done proportionally and do not attack nuclear sites of Iran. Your thoughts there, Congressman Jackson?
I think we have to get back to the table. I think the United States should stand by its unequivocal support for Israel. But standing next to Israel does not mean following Mr. Netanyahu blindly. I think that we should also be on the path towards reconciliation, the path towards peace. That's not been articulated by Mr. Netanyahu. So to say that Israel is Netanyahu and Netanyahu is Israel, I think is blurring the lines. I think that as we talk about going into Iran, that what is proportional, these things have to be laid out, articulated, and made clear. These are also U.S.-backed, U.S.-financed, U.S.-supported. And I think that we also need to see, when does de-escalation begin? Now we're seeing an incursion going into Yemen, into Iran, going into Lebanon, going into Syria. There's been a bomb that's most recently hit at the Russian air base. So when does it stop? This is now engulfing the entire world.
Yeah, you know, we just heard from an IDF spokesman earlier on the show, and he was wondering, how do you define proportional when your country is facing a barrage of ballistic missiles? And thankfully, the Iron Dome was able to protect innocent civilians. Congressman Andy Biggs, just wanted to get your reaction. Obviously, we have both a Republican and Democrat here, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so the first question I had was when I heard President Biden say response should be proportional, was proportional to what? The 181 ballistic missiles that came in, the terrorist attacks that was coordinated with that? Or do you mean the regime that is seeking the utter destruction and annihilation of Israel, that has said categorically that it wants to remove it from the planet? So if it's, which one did you mean? So when my colleague says there needs to be clarity, I think the president needs to be clearer, because I think, quite frankly, Israel should be able to defend itself. That's they need to make the adjudication. They have the intelligence. They know what's going on. And quite frankly, if we're going to say we're going to help you out, but only with strings, then there's no wonder that they've been slow. Israel's been slow to say, hey, we need some more assistance. I do think that you have to acknowledge that this regime, Iran, not only is attacking Israel, but they've funded the Houthi rebels in Yemen. They continue to fund Hezbollah. They have proxies throughout the world that they're funding to bring terror everywhere, and Israel's in the hub of it. So that's what I would say. You got to acknowledge that if you say that it has to be proportional, which I don't think that we're in position to make that adjudication, then you need to get the strings off Israel and let Israel defend itself, and this thing will be solved probably sooner rather than later that way.